Okay, question 5K. The function f of x equals, these bars are absolute value. That's how you read that. So f of x equals absolute value of x is multiplied by k to create the new function g of x equals k of absolute value of x. Which statement is true about the graphs of f of x and g of x if k equals a half? So what this question is saying is, hey, the original function is f of x equals absolute value of x. What happens if we have it as 1/2 absolute value of x? Why are they making you do this whole substitution thing and then say it's k of x and k is a half instead of just saying 1/2 x? I don't know. New York State for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to, in our calculator, we're going to see what happens. So we're going to click y equals because we're going to graph something. We're going to look at the graph and actually see how it transforms. So click y equals, clear out any garbage in there. We're going to type in absolute value of x. Now, it lives in a weird spot. So to bring up absolute value of x in your calculator, it's math. It's right here. We don't use that button often. Always thought it was weird there's a math button on a calculator. It's kind of redundant, but math, right arrow into the num column. And then choice 1 is the right one, abs, ABS, absolute value. Click enter on it. There you go. So again, the buttons are math, right, one click, choice 1, abs. And I'm just going to type in x in there, and I'm going to arrow out. So that first equation is done. So I'm going to go ahead and click graph now. Here's the original one. Whoa, my window's crazy. So to recenter my window, I'm going to click zoom 6, and choice 6 is standard. It just resquares it. Look at that. That's the original one, okay? Zoom 6, in case you need it. If your calculator's reset, it'll already be defaulted to this 10 by 10. So here's the parent function. The question was, what happens if we put k in front? What happens if we put 1/2 in front of that? So I'm going to go to y equals again. I'm going to leave the original one there as a reference point, and now I'm going to type in 1/2 absolute value of x. So I'm going to get my fractions up. For me, it's alpha y equals enter. So I'm going to type in 1/2, right arrow, make sure I'm outside, and then I'm going to throw an absolute value of x right in front of that 1/2, because that's what they told me the equation is. Okay? I'm going to click graph. Red is the new one. Whoa, there's the new one. So putting that 1/2 in there, what did it do to my blue original one? Made it wider. So I'm going to look at the 4 choices and see which one says something to that. G of x is a reflection. So reflections are flips, either up and down or left and right. Reflections, doors and windows, up and down, left and right. It did no reflecting at all, right? The image is still the same. It just kind of made it wider. So back on my paper, it didn't do any reflecting that way. Didn't do reflecting over the x-axis. Reflecting over the y-axis is left and right. Reflecting over the x-axis is up and down. So neither of those. G of x is wider than f of x, and g of x is narrower than f of x. So we got to make sure that we pick the right one, right? So g of x is the new one. G of x is the red one. G of x is wider than f of x, or it's narrower. So the red one is wider for sure than the blue one. So since that one is wider, the answer has got to be choice 3. Careful if they flip it, because if they said f of x is narrower than g of x, that would technically be correct. So careful of their language. They're going to try and trip you up. Okay? That's it. So for those questions, I really recommend you get your calculator, punch them both in, and compare them. Anytime it says, how does this graph compare to the old one, throw them in. Take a look. You don't have to even try and memorize it.